follow food combining.
It's called a 21-day reset.
Food combining. I'm following food combining. Food combining.
I have started doing intensive burns 21 days to your best body program.
Food combining rules.
Obviously that follows food combining. I've been doing food combining for about 8 weeks now.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Sorry, my water, the electric kettle is on, so that's what you're hearing. If you guys are new here, you should totally go ahead and click that subscribe button, join the party, join the fam. I know that normally I start these with like a little like music and like thing where I'm like make my lemon water and stuff. But today, I forgot to set an alarm. And so I just woke up and it's 10 o'clock. It's gonna be a slow day. So I'm making lemon water right now. I'll probably drink this and edit a little bit because I didn't do anything on yesterday's video, but I want to get it posted this afternoon. Yeah, truly just like my stomach hurt so badly. I'm gonna do some work today. Might go to the gym, might not, just depending on how my stomach feels, because like it feels a lot better, but definitely not 100% back to normal. May go to a coffee shop and just like do work just so I can get out of the house for a little bit. This is the same smoothie as usual. I just didn't put spinach in it, so it looks different. I just wasn't really feeling spinach today, so I just didn't put it in there. So this is mango, banana, and cucumber, and coconut water. I've never thought about putting coconut water in a smoothie until this reset, and that is one thing that I'm like absolutely in love with. I love the coconut water in the smoothies. So I'm getting ready for the day, and I was gonna go to the gym, or at least like put on gym clothes and try and feel inspired to go to the gym. But honestly, like I'm standing here and getting ready and my stomach still hurts, so I'm actually gonna take a day off from the gym today, and I'm gonna throw on a little dress because it's apparently like 1,000 degrees outside. Just, I can't sit in my apartment all day. So I'm about ready to leave, but I'm gonna make a snack really quickly because I'm just a little bit hungry. I think I'm gonna make a rice cake. My avocado's good. Making an avocado rice cake. This was not the video I planned on making today, but it's the video I'm making today. So it is the middle of the day. It's about 5 o'clock. I've been thinking about this kind of all day. Well, starting last night. I was thinking about quitting food combining. I'm editing this video right now, and just like when I first start this, the first thing I say is I feel like I'm like quitting food combining, and I just want to put out there immediately a perfect example of why I am no longer doing this, because you should never feel like you're quitting your, like what you're eating. You know? Sometimes I use diet as a word, I say this in here too, but sometimes I use diet as a word to just like sum up like what I'm eating, like just what I'm eating on a day-to-day basis. But this is a diet, like a restrictive diet, and I'll get into it more. But I just want to point out that that right there is a perfect example of how this is a restrictive diet. Okay, I'm so sorry. Continue with the vlog now. Really thinking about it, but I kept asking myself like, okay, well, why do I want to keep doing this? Why do I want to keep going? First of all, I was like, okay, well, I don't want to make any judgments. Sorry, my neighbors are like having a party right now, like a full-on party, like this is just like dubstep music. Anywho, first of all, I was like, I don't want to make any judgments about something that I haven't done all the way through. And then I was like, and people are like really liking the videos. I really want to finish it so that everyone can see like what it's like at the end. And then I was like, do you even hear yourself? Do you hear what you're saying right now? None of that has to do with me or with my health or with my happiness. And I was like, okay, that's the end of that. So I am stopping food combining. I'm done. I'm out. Over the past few days, I've been feeling a lot of things, and then in the past like 24 hours, a lot of things have come to the surface. I've watched a lot of videos, read a lot of things online. I've read some blogs, I've read some articles. I'll link some of them below. Just like after really diving into all of that, I was like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? What is, like I can't even tell you why I'm doing this. I can't even tell you what the purpose of this is. Originally, this was an experiment, and I'm done. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this reset a review, and then I'm gonna talk about how I'm moving forward from here. Okay, so first of all, this is not a video to bash Kenzie Burke. I am not here to bash Kenzie Burke. She wrote on her Instagram today that she was getting death threats from people, and like, that's scary. And I do like parts of her platform. Overall, I do not agree with this lifestyle. I don't agree with this way of living. I think that it's a little bit too extreme for me, and I think that there's not enough emphasis on that, which I'll get into in a second. Sorry I keep saying that, I just like have an order that I want to talk about all of this in. I do think that Kenzie is like overall a pretty positive person, and I enjoy the content that she puts out. I do follow her on Instagram, I have watched her YouTube videos. You know, like there's parts of it that I don't like. At the root of it, I think that what she's promoting is whole foods and mindful eating, which I do agree with and I do think is important. That being said, there's a fair amount of it that in my opinion and in my experience is bullshit. I would also say that I've never dealt with an eating disorder, but I can see how some of the things that she says and some of the way that she looks at things can be triggering for some people. So if that's something you've dealt with, I would definitely stay far away from this. I think that a lot of this can become obsessive. I don't think she's promoting being obsessive, but with guides like this, it's so easy to be like, well, it's not in the guide, so I can't eat it. If you don't know how to navigate that for yourself, I would steer clear of the food combining train, okay? So I don't think that Kenzie Burke or her lifestyle is necessarily for everyone, but I would say that about everyone and everything in the world. Okay, so let's dive into the reset. I think I just flashed the camera. I wrote down some notes here. There are some positives from this, and I really want to point those out first. So first of all, I really like how the reset emphasizes movement and exercise, and it emphasizes self-care, and I think both of those things are super important. I do like that it's not just focused on the foods that you're eating, but your life as a whole. I also really like that it emphasizes eating whole foods. I'm all about whole foods. I think that they're the best way to get all kinds of nutrients. I would take an apple over a pre-workout any day of the week. That's just my personal opinion. So I really do love that she promotes whole food. Then the last thing that I really liked about the reset was its emphasis on flexibility. The reset itself emphasizes flexibility, but the food combining Kenzie Burke culture does not. So at the core of it, I like that that's there, but I don't think that there's enough emphasis in that once you actually start doing it. And so that kind of brings me to the cons. So I think my biggest thing here is that this, in my opinion, promotes restrictive eating. Kenzie says listen to your body, and she's talked a couple of times about how she was like one time she talked about how she was craving bacon, so then she went to go eat bacon. To me, that's just not enough. I don't think you're promoting what you want to be promoting, and that's not just Kenzie. I think it's also the other influencers who are doing this. I love Maggie McDonald. I think she's great, but she promotes this a lot. She's really close with Kenzie, and same with her sister Emma. They're all like really, really close. They just went on vacation together. But I don't think there's enough talk about how to make this lifestyle your own. Not everything's gonna work for everyone, and so they're promoting all this, but I've never heard talk of like, this is just what works for me. Try something different for you. Eat more meat if you need to. Eat more of this if you need to. You can switch these around. You know, like there's none of that. It's just like them showing what they do, which I think is great to an extent, as long as you're sending out a disclaimer that like, this is for me, do something that works for you, play with different things, figure it out, because there's just no one size fits all. I could also say that about a whole lot of people who are doing this. I just don't think that they're, and like myself included, I will say that I don't think that I said that enough at the beginning, and so I'm saying it now, I'm putting it out there now. I don't even have a big platform, so thank you guys for watching this, but for the few of you that are watching this, I just want to say, if this is any kind of lifestyle, any kind of nutrition plan, any kind of diet, I know people get sensitive about the word diet. When I say diet, I mean like actually like what you're eating on a day-to-day basis. Whatever your thing is, whatever you're eating, make it your own, find something that works for you, try out different things. I would not suggest doing this. I would not suggest doing keto. I would not suggest any kind of like restrictive eating plan. I think that there's ways to adjust your diet, and I just don't, this just isn't it. And for example, with this whole like promotes restrictive eating thing, I will say that part of this is because like I'm vlogging this every day, but still, it's like when I went out a few nights ago, I had a couple glasses of wine and I like felt guilty, and I was like, I don't want to tell the vlog this, but like I did it, so I'm going to, but like I just felt so worried that like people are gonna be like, oh well, you're cheating on the reset, like you didn't do it completely, like you're not really doing the full thing. And then I just like thought, you know, like this is my life and I can't stop my life, I can't stop the things that I'm doing, I can't stop enjoying things because I'm trying to do a challenge or something like that. Like that's not a healthy way of thinking. And looking back, the fact that that thought had even crossed my mind is not okay. And then the other big thing that I just did not like about this whole situation is that, first of all, I saw no change in my skin, which was one big thing. Like the results that she kind of promises them. Like she really places a big emphasis that these are the things you're gonna see. And like I saw no change in my skin, but like my skin looks exactly the same. I'm not wearing makeup here, I'm wearing mascara. Like it didn't change anything. And the other big thing is like bloating and digestion. So for me personally, this reset was not a big shift from how I was eating already. For myself, I've always placed an emphasis on whole foods. I've always placed an emphasis on being gluten-free and dairy-free because dairy breaks me out and gluten makes me bloated. You know, so these are just things that I've picked up along the way that work for me. So this was not a huge shift. And that's why I don't really understand why it had such an effect on my body. You know, I was trying... Okay, sorry, the doorbell just rang, so I had to answer that. There was a big change in my digestion here, not the first week, but starting like a few days ago, I'd say like towards the beginning of this week and like moving forward, I noticed a really big change in my digestion. I started getting really bloated. I was not like going to the bathroom as much. Like it was just bad. And so then I tried like ginger tea and then like I don't know, it just wasn't working for me. And it's probably a whole myriad of things. I think the big thing that affected my digestion was that I was going from having such well-rounded meals, vegetables and a source of protein and a starch, and then taking one of those away just like messed it all up. You know, like I just feel like my body was like, what's going on? And it just didn't digest it as well. I've always dealt with bloating, but I feel like I had finally gotten it down to being like, okay, this is what works for me. And then trying to take myself out of that, it just didn't work for me. So I just, yeah, I can't do this anymore. I wanted to finish it really badly because honestly, I'm a Sagittarius and I'm a type 3 Enneagram, and like that just pretty much means that I'm super competitive and an overachiever. So I think that that part of me really wanted to finish this, and then the other part of me is like, Jane, shut up. So my overall thoughts on the whole thing is that I'm sure this works for some people. I'm sure it does. It's probably working really well for people who are used to eating more processed foods and now they're eating whole foods, so they're seeing a bigger change in their bodies. I would love to say that I entered this with no expectations of how it would end, but that would be a lie because I definitely wanted this to work. You know, and I definitely, like, I believed in this at first. I mean, it makes sense in the way that, like, the way that she's talking, the way that she's explaining things. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, like this totally makes sense, but that's just not how it works. And so, you know, like it's just like Abby Sharp says it in her video where she's like, your stomach doesn't layer things like this. It's I think she says it's like more like a smoothie once it gets to your stomach. Yeah, so like the science just isn't there, and I don't know, guys. I just wouldn't. Not a fan. I'm not on board. So moving forward, I'm switching things up a little bit. The things that I really want to keep there is that I did like eating fruit in the morning. I've been having that smoothie in the morning and I actually have been really liking that. I've had a lot of energy to kick off my day. I've kind of stopped having coffee in the morning. Maybe that's the reason that I haven't been digesting things the same. Because I've been having coffee in the afternoon, but not in the morning. Right, anyway, okay, back on track. So moving forward, I think my big thing is that I still want to eat more plant-based. I loved having smoothies in the morning. I thought it was a great way to kick off my day. I'll probably go back to having coffee in the morning and then not have coffee in the afternoon because I feel like that's been kind of affecting my sleep. For environmental reasons, I would like to eat less meat. That's kind of been on my radar for a little bit, but that was a little bit difficult when I was living with my parents. So now that I'm back to making my own meals, I would like to cut back on meat, but I'm not cutting out meat altogether. Abby Sharp, I don't remember if it was in the Kenzie video or I watched her one on Sarah's Day as well because I love Sarah's Day. And she brought up a term called flexitarian, and I love it because pretty much what that means, it's a real term. I looked it up and I had no idea that it even existed, but pretty much it's somebody who eats like plant-based but then will eat meat and animal products in moderation. So I guess if I had to put myself in a box, if I had to title it something, that's kind of what I'm gonna be doing. Yeah, I just feel like I have not been listening to my body the past couple of weeks, and that's not healthy. That's not good. You know, you gotta listen to your body. There's nothing wrong with eating fruit in the afternoon. There's nothing wrong with eating fruit after dinner. There's nothing wrong with having a piece of meat with sweet potato. Like, that's a very, very healthy meal. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eat my snack. I'm eating, by the way, not food combining, I'm eating tuna and quinoa and avocado with a little bit of olive oil and everything but the bagel seasoning, and it's so yummy. If you don't like tuna though, then like you probably won't like this. So I'm gonna keep vlogging over the next week. I'm gonna end this one here because I have a feeling that this is gonna take up a pretty big chunk of it. I am gonna keep vlogging the 21 days that I said I was going to. I'm gonna spend the next 8 days, to finish up the 21 days, I'm gonna spend the next 8 days getting back on my own nutrition plan and getting back on a diet that works for me and is personalized to me, because I spent many years trying to figure out what works for my body and what doesn't, and this just does not. So that is my plan. That is how we're moving forward from this. I'm done with food combining. I don't suggest it, but I don't regret doing this at all. I feel like this was a big lesson for me, and hopefully someone else out there that's watching this video. So I'm gonna end this video here, I think, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if the food combining videos were the only reason that you were here, I'm sorry that I'm not continuing on with it. This is like me just feeling guilty about everything in my life, but I'm like, I feel like I'm letting people down, but like, I just need to get better about putting myself first. So if that's the only reason you were here, I do hope that you stick around and join the fam. If you guys liked today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Never forget to love the life you lived. I will see you guys tomorrow for day 1 of the Jane Simmons reset. Bye guys.